We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
And now, Reality Hits with Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's already Thursday. I mean, the days, the weeks, they fly by. They fly by. In fact, I just had to clean up my Dropbox that I use with Red Voice Media because I've been with Red Voice now for over a year. It's pretty wild. You know, got started over a year ago at this point. I want to thank them, number one. I had a great time over on Drew Berquist's program. I've got like a very small clip with him, and I kind of talking about the chance at global warfare at this point. And if you watch the debate, it's a foregone conclusion for everybody but the Ramaswamied, man. I mean, here's the deal. People that just, no matter what, think everything is fixed and everything is rigged and you can't have a nuanced opinion and that everybody is captured by certain entities, maybe you're not going to like this show. But then again, maybe you didn't watch the presidential debates last night. And in many ways, they were a complete and total farce because four candidates are up there saying the most bland, nonsensical, war hawkish, Johnny nonsense bullshiz that you could ever imagine, and not blinking or fidgeting once while doing it. When they do blink, fidget, look uncomfortable is when they're confronted by the truth, or at least a shade of the truth, via the Ramaswamy. From opening to close, okay, from bell to bell, from bingo to bango, he dominated that debate. He dominated that debate. And what's the media trying to do? Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis exclusive. Ron DeSantis wins the battle with Nikki Haley. What are you talking about? They both look like chumps, not champs. There's one guy up there saying the right things and saying things where I was thinking to myself, there's definitely certain points where I have totally different positions than him. TikTok would probably be one of them, right? But there are moments when I'm watching this and I would go, man, would I have been able to articulate that as well as he did right there? To the point where even though, I don't like to talk about TikTok. We're not big TikTok talkers here because quite frankly, everybody, the CCP has your data, right? It was the big Tim Dillon joke. You mean they're spying on you Chinese style? I mean, you're doing Instagram, you're doing, Facebook all the time. Any of that shit. You might as well be TikToking. You're TikToking. Okay? But at one point, number one, Ramaswamy, who uses TikTok, points out the hypocrisy that, Nikki Haley's daughter uses it. And Haley's like one of the worst. Like you could see she's getting visibly angry. That's not a show. That's not a WWE move. She's visibly angry When he got up there, he called Zelensky a Nazi on a national stage and broke out that this was not a freedom regime like everybody else was saying. It was wow. She couldn't help herself. We'll play the clip. She called him scum on television. You're just scum. What? Think about that. The person that the media is pushing, and by the way, Ramaswamy didn't call her scum. Basically, he cracked a joke on her and DeSantis that they're basically Cheney in 3-inch heels, and there's 2 of them there. And then Haley, I'm in 5-inch heels, and I don't wear them unless I can run in them. What? No. What he was pointing out is the absurdity that you guys are like fashionistas, and honestly, you care more about the perception of you, okay, than the country. Or who cares about the country? How about human beings in general? You care more about the perception of what you are in your white pantsuit and you, Ron, in your alligator boots than, I don't know, kids that are being carpet bombed in a land far away. And every single one of them sits up there and lies and acts like Ukraine can win a war against Russia. It's absurd. It's cartoon land, man. That's like not a real thing. Russia can sit there and do that for decades if it needs to. But will it? Like the idea that this was going to be a quick, and I mean absurd. And even Ramaswamy brought that up, that now everybody's starting to come around and, we just can't give them limitless money and blah. Give me a break. The coffers have been filled. Now, again, what I really liked about the Ramaswamy in this one is that he opened the gates up with the first question and turned it around on the moderators and basically said, hey, all you guys are pieces of shit. You're awful. You like, that's the only thing. Like, if I was standing up there and I would be like, no, you guys are all awful people. You're liars on purpose. But he basically did that in a more articulate way, saying the way we take our country back is pointing out that you guys all rigged the elections, that you all lied about Russiagate, that you're the misinformation and disinformation. It's just like, boom. Oh, my goodness. We're going down the line on the Ramaswamy today. I may or may not take questions. So if you got questions, if you got comments on the debate, if you watched the debate, if you didn't, let me know what you think. It's going to be a heavy, heavy debate one. He even at the end, again, no one else up there will say it, but he said it. Joe Biden's not the president. He doesn't run the country. He's a puppet for the managerial class, is what he called it. Thank you. Thank you for stating the obvious. These are obvious things this guy is stating. And it's funny, like the other big headline that I'll pull here, it's from Vox, of all places. You know, the good people at Vox. The Republican debate is fake. And look, Trump not coming to the debates early on, I was a little critical of. But now that he's in court, and they got gag orders, and they got non-jury trials, I wouldn't go anywhere and say anything either. How could you? You know, I interviewed Naomi Wolf yesterday, and that'll air tonight. But we were talking about it, and for those that don't know, Naomi Wolf, you know, before she was a huge advocate for, let's just say, talking about the COVID 1984 nightmare. Let's just call it that. She was actually one of the Clinton re-election campaign front people. Like, she's behind the scenes. She's one of those people in politics, very close to these people, running campaigns. And as she was talking about what they were doing to Trump, and I was pointing it out, she's like, I was there in 2000. We did all this and more. You're supposed to do this. And she was talking about it flipping around and making a crime on him and waging lawfare against him. And then I was like, well, look what they did to everybody in the RICO case. And she's like, exactly. She's like, I don't think that I would take a job as a political consultant on any campaign at this point because they're prosecuting people for doing their job. Yeah. Yep. And Trump was almost barely talked about, too. If you watch the very beginning of the debates, Lester Holt really wants to get a handle on this. They really, they didn't want back and forths between the candidates. And by the way, these are always really truncated and short. I feel like the hype surrounding it in the after show is always longer than the actual debate. You know, when I'm watching 2.5-hour podcasts, I think 2 hours bare minimum, that's good. But maybe you want a 3-hour one. And that's the truth. A lot of warmongering. Like, for instance, you know, one of the other things that I would disagree with Ramaswamy on, I'm not sure if we have a clip where he talks about it, but you basically had this guy talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and everything that seems to be questioning anything in the event all of a sudden is anti-Semitism. Like, for instance, they're talking about the rise of anti-Semitism. Does anybody really see a rise in anti-Semitism? I would challenge that. I don't believe that. I think that's manufactured, period. Like, that's not a real thing. And I don't think that every single person that marched in Brooklyn is totally and completely misguided, okay? Or on college campuses to protest. It's a nuanced issue, obviously. Like, the response is ridiculous. You have to give the Palestinian people a way to live and acknowledge they're human beings too. Or where do we even start? Right? So that was never really acknowledged, and you just had to like nod your head along that, yeah, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Is it? I mean, not in my area. Haven't seen a damn thing about it here in the Quad Cities, Iowa. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just blind. Maybe I'm just too naive on the matter. Don't think so. So I think we're gonna go we're gonna get to the clip. There's a lot of these clips of the original Ramaswamy, the opening Ramaswamy, the get ready, buckle up. And here we go. And by the way, I also wouldn't have, Ramaswamy says that certain people should be up there, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk amongst them. I don't want Elon Musk anywhere near the presidential debates because I see where that's going. Okay, they're propping that guy up 100%. So let's Ramaswamy it.
Swamy, let me turn to you. Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. Do you think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Ross.
Sorry. This is how we get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor.
Let me turn to Governor. Mr. Ramaswamy, your time is up. Lester Holt is just, he's always been grading. And believe me, I've grown up with some Lester Holt. He's stuck it out, though. NBC has been a good career for him. I'm sure he's making buccos. Mr. Ramaswamy, your time is up. And he's right. He's 100% right. Like what? First of all, it's not just like a Democratic issue. It's an establishment issue, right? They don't want you to be able to get into that level of corruption. And she's just smiling away. You son of a bitch, Ramaswamy. How dare you? And that was the warm-up, man. We got plenty more. So what I need you to do, I need you to thumbs it up. I need you to subscribe. I need you to share the links out there. Remember, Second Hour lives over at RVMRumble.com. You want to support the broadcast, redvoicemedia.com/uncensored, redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. I got to tell you, I'm really loving the new studio. I'm loving the fact that I got a little bit more room. I mean, I'm getting cut off there. Don't worry. What can you do? You only have such a wide lens. Anyway, but lighting's good. Space is good. So far, the electricity's good. I haven't had all the bugs. It's a deep breath. It's a new day. So again, we're gonna have a ton of Ramaswamy. Say what you will. Again, at a moment like that, challenging that person when everybody else is up there. Everybody else is up there saying the same damn thing. Give more money and support to Ukraine. Give more money and support to Israel. They have a right to defend itself. Never-ending wars. We're going to be tough on this. We're going to be tough on the border. We're going to be tough on crime. No one's up there saying that Joe Biden is a puppet and doesn't run anything and he's not running for president. I mean, that's what a closer he gave. We'll get to that closer a little later. We got more. He visibly shook Haley. She called him scum for a reason. We're going to play that clip. We'll be back after this word from our sponsor.
We interrupt today's programming to bring unfortunate news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. So take action now. The Federal Reserve's phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard and put your hard-earned assets in jeopardy. But here's the good news. There's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Speak to someone at American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Dial 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Call 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. Act swiftly, 833-287-2465.
And we are back. It is Reality Rants, redvoicemedia.com. And once again, I want to thank Red Voice, man. I had a great time on the Drew Berquist show. And they got a cool studio down in Florida. I got to, sometime this year, plan a trip where I spend some time out there and do the Florida thing and maybe do some stuff from the studios there, maybe for a week and hang out, because they're doing it big, man. They're really, first of all, I never have like editorial meetings with any of those guys at all, ever. If I'm talking about what I'm going to be talking about here, it's kind of like a personal conversation with Ray behind the scenes. But to be honest, it doesn't happen a lot. And really, we're usually talking more about MMA. But that is so rare in any media business. I mean, think about Office Space, that movie. It's brilliant from Mike Judge because so many places really do run like that, only with a little bit more, characters. But that's poison to a business like this. Okay, let me tell you why. Because the truth of the matter is And I was talking about this with Drew. Look, I'm never going to be the biggest name in alternative media or talk shows or what. I don't want to be, quite frankly. I think that's, man, I can't imagine the kind of uncomfortable fame a Tucker Carlson or an Alex Jones goes through in a day. Really can't. It's tough. In fact, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but like I had a guy approach me this weekend over in the Fresh Time parking lot. And he was a nice guy. We had a conversation. It's cool. I get recognized. Says thank you. Makes my day, sure. But a lot of that, no thanks. When I do this, I stick to what I can prove. And if it's not something I can prove, like for instance, there's a thread over in my fraternity's page over on Facebook. Now, I for those that are friends with me on Facebook, you'll notice I don't post a lot. However, I'll chime in once in a while on one of these threads. And somebody had picked up the story of the off-duty pilot that was supposedly on magic mushrooms when he tried to crash the Alaska plane. And I said, that's the headline. He was on depression meds for 6 years. And he had a dissociative suicidal moment that they warn about in the commercials. Now, I found that out the next day from court documents that he indeed did suffer from depression for 6 years. But I made the speculative call. Okay, the speculative call, and then I showed some evidence why I made that speculative call, that he would be indeed found to be on depression and probably depression meds. As I say, like a 99.99%. Now, I could have been wrong. And I would have had the humility to say I was wrong. I was proven correct in 24 hours. Proven correct in 24 hours. So I think it's things like that are actually, there's my man. Vivek the snake ate everyone alive. Yes, they did, Scanoni. I think it's things like that give me the credibility that if I do get I never would have thought they would have gone with Joe Biden as the puppet. I really didn't. I was thinking something even scarier, like a Cory Booker, Kamala embarrassed ticket. We did get Kamala embarrassed. Okay. By the way, I forgot to read this one because I got it at the end of the show yesterday. Where are we? Boom. David Westfall was asking me any insight on why we didn't get COVID Land 4 and 5. I did want to answer that one quick. I remember hearing about it. So for those that don't know, COVID Land, Paul Wittenberger, great documentary series. InfoWars helped produce it, but Wittenberger really did the legwork before the distribution on his own. He actually came and interviewed me here in Iowa when I first got out here. However, I don't have any firsthand knowledge. I can just tell you from those kind of projects that if you don't have them all banged out at once with a schedule, things can happen. That's why those type of series really have to almost be done for them to still have the impact. So you can release them as the impact falters a little bit. Otherwise, they're not going to be as well received and therefore as profitable. If they're profitable, it's very rare that a documentary becomes super profitable in any respect. I guess What is a Woman is one of those indie documentaries that did do well, right? But how well? Probably not as well as you think, and with a lot of legwork. Now, if that had been a series like What is a Woman Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where does it stop all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Where does the crescendo stop? So just answering that one. I want to go. I told you I'd do some questions and comments. So I'm going to scroll up. We're going to see what the people had to say. And I know a lot of people don't like the Ramaswamied. They don't like that I cover it, but I got to do it. I got to cover it. I'm sorry. That's what we do here. Hey, everybody. Morning. Wow, it's already been a year. Yeah, I still remember being sad when the show got pushed back an hour. I can't believe that was a year ago. Yeah. Well, I'm not so sad. Honestly, it's hard for me to get to sleep at night, and 8 a.m. here Central is a little better than 7 a.m. I didn't hate the 7 a.m. You just got to do it. You got to get up that extra hour early. But it's tough, man. Like sometimes when you don't get to bed at 2 or 3, not lately. I've been getting to bed a little bit around midnight-ish, maybe a little bit after midnight. But that getting up at 6 hours is good, solid, strong like a bull. I'd support Dr. Shiva. I was supposed to get him on, and then I never saw the email come through. Maybe it's somewhere. I don't know. Much love to all of my beautiful brothers and sisters out there. Hi, Karen and Jason. Peace from Nottingham, England. Well, peace to you, good sir. I like Vivek. Me too. I like Vivek. Listen, it's still Iowa. I'm wondering when the next time he's going to get out here is, and I'm hoping I can get somewhat of a one-on-one with him. That would be fantastic. That would be what I need. Let's see. Dr. Shiva is the only valuable voice in my opinion, but he's not on a national stage. He's not on a national stage. Like it matter. Like things like this matter because there's still so many people that have no clue what's going on. Like information really is power. I said it again with Drew. I kind of closed it. I'm like, look, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is ignorance. And unfortunately, information is only power if you use that information. You don't block it out. And I said, look, I don't know that I'm going to be able to stop World War III or what we can mobilize against. I know I'm going to have the knowledge to try to navigate the situation as best I can. And look, is a lot of what we saw last night, the dog and pony show? You bet it is. 80% of it, maybe more. But that's why Vivek the Snake is he's important. That's all I can really say. Debates are just, I talked better than you, 0 politicians follow through. Plus, we are a constitutional republic. Shouldn't matter people's opinions. Again, let me say this. Before this, Ramaswamy is really not a politician. Yeah, he doesn't really come from this world. So that's a plus. And look, sitting down with Alex Jones, I think he did an interview with Anomaly before that. I'm sure after I saw some of the tweets by Tim Pool, if he hasn't done Tim Pool, which he may have already done, I don't know, I don't follow Tim that much. He will be doing Tim Pool. Those are, zeitgeist type outlets. And that's important. Like, I'll always take the opportunity when I can to be on InfoWars and host there. 100% every single time. I will always take the opportunity when Timcast wants me on. Yeah, but I'll take the smaller opportunities too. Right? Like, here's something I might as well throw out there. And am I super happy about it? Maybe not. But it's happening. The other show, I got Dershowitz back. And apparently I've got 2 interviews with Dershowitz. Okay? On 2 different subjects. I'm going to do those interviews. Maybe a bit begrudgingly, but it's part of the deal. I'm going to be as open and honest about all of it as I can. Because that's who I am. Lies don't make friends, everybody. And I'm openly and honestly telling you, I think that Vivek is a huge positive in this, right? And we need more voices like it. Let's keep going. Hey, Jason. Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. There's the slow boy whiteboard. A shade of exactly. If all it takes for people is for a politician to say what they want to hear, then we are in deep. We are in deep, JC. It's not all I want, but guess what? Whether that's it or not, we're all in deep. We're here. We're here, man. It's happening, Captain. Jason, don't degrade yourself. I choose you over Shyster Ramaswamy any day. Well, thank you. No, but let's be honest. I don't have the resources to run for the president of the United States and get on that stage. And what he did in that opener was big. So we got another clip. We're going to go to that. And we're going to go back to your questions, comments, keep them rolling in. I'm going to try to get a lot of that stuff in this first hour here. Remember, the second hour lives at RVM Rumble. Here is the Cheneys in heels moment.
Mr. Ramaswamy, any daylight between you and the candidates we just heard in this issue on what you would tell the Prime Minister?
Not in terms of what I would tell the Prime Minister, no. In fact, I would go one step further. The founding vision of Israel was based on the idea that they don't want to depend on anybody else's sympathy or direction in defending themselves. So what I would tell Bibi is that Israel has the right and the responsibility to defend itself. I would tell him to smoke those terrorists on his southern border, and then I'll tell him as President of the United States, I'll be smoking the terrorists on our southern border. That's his responsibility. This is our responsibility. That's how we move forward. But I want to be careful.
And let me just stop it there quick. I think the quote-unquote terrorist language and threat is not only overblown and overused, but extremely dangerous, and I would not be using that rhetoric. I just want to point that out here, but let's go.
To avoid making the mistakes from the neocon establishment of the past. Corrupt politicians in both parties spent trillions, killed millions, made billions for themselves in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, fighting wars that sent thousands of our sons and daughters, people my age, to die in wars that did not advance anyone's interests, adding $7 trillion to our national debt. And Joe Biden sold off our foreign policy.
But it did advance the interests of this deep state Leviathan. That's also the truth. There's going to be a lot I have to say about this clip on the other side, but here's where it gets juicy.
See, Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, got a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. That's why we're sending $200 billion back to that same country. The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case, we've got two of them on stage tonight.
Ramaswamy, thank you.
Damn, we got two of them on stage tonight. We're going to come back, talk about it after this word from our sponsor. Think about a pillow.
When I invented My Pillow, my passion was to help each and every one of you. And 20 years later, all of your support is what keeps us going. Because of you, we've been able to create thousands of USA jobs and help millions get the best sleep ever. To thank you, my employees and I are bringing you a limited edition My Pillow. The Giza Elegance My Pillow is made with my patented adjustable fill, the most amazing cotton, and a 2-inch pipe gusset. It has 4 custom loft levels, machine washable and dryable, and you get my 60-day money-back guarantee and 10-year warranty.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your limited edition 20th anniversary My Pillow queen size. Retails for $69.98, now only $19.98. That's right, get a queen size My Pillow for only $19.98.
From all of us here at My Pillow,
thanks America!
And we are back. So let's think about this for a second. What interests really did happen? I mean, the people that are in charge right now and have been for a very long time, their interests were totally served. You know, you call it the deep state or whatever, but you think about, were the boots on the ground? Were the American people's interests? No, you built an infrastructure here at home via Homeland Security, fusion centers, and signature reduction that has now openly and clearly been what? Weaponized against the American people. They are now openly targeting the American people via the FBI and all these other agencies. They've put people like that who showed up there, not with guns, not to murder people, walked into a building 20 years. 20 years. And then at the same time, the surveillance biometric state, where they were scanning everybody's eyeballs, and now they're doing that, via the orb, wants to be your new global ID for your global currency. Oh, isn't that lovely? Well, we did that in Afghanistan, right? I mean, that's literally, you didn't get any money with it. You didn't get your UBI. You might have been signed up for some like rations program. But the drone warfare, all of it got beta tested. It was a military industrial complex playground. Did we benefit as the American people or as a constitutional republic? No, we didn't. Okay. But is he damn right when he sits there and he calls out Nikki Haley for being literally broke, and then all of a sudden working for Boeing, who is, by the way, SpaceX has become the largest really contractor. I don't know if it's the largest, but it's the larger contractor, and I do think it is the largest now than Boeing for NASA. In fact, we'll do it live. Let's do that because again, their military-industrial complex, SpaceX, passes Boeing. Bam. Yes, second largest vendor. Sorry, surpassing Boeing. My bad. So it is still the second largest one, but it has surpassed Boeing. And that was a little over a year ago. This is the military-industrial complex. That's why I wouldn't want Musk up there either. Okay? Let's see. Let's go to what should be the next clip, and then we're going to go to more of your questions and comments. Let's go to Nikki Haley calling Vivek Ramaswamy scum. I think that is just fantastic. I think it's great stuff. Here we go.
We've talked about this. You campaign on TikTok. How do you get TikTok banned if you use it?
Well, I want to laugh at why.
First of all, why do you need to ban TikTok? I've already discussed this. Like, I think that's a Trojan horse question, and he should have addressed it as such. It's ridiculous. Like, again, the surveillance state isn't just China. And the China phobia here is also, a lot of the framing of these questions is ridiculous.
Nikki Haley didn't answer your question, which is about looking at families in the eye. In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter.
You leave my daughter out of my mouth. Look at these Cruella de Vil outfits, too. Look at that outfit. Like, it's ridiculous. You leave my daughter out of your mouth.
Out of your voice.
Your adult daughter. The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy
scum.
answer.
You're just scum. You're just scum. Come on, this is fun. This is why you watch a debate.
Is actually to say that we're just going to ban one app. We got to go further. We have to ban any U.S. company actually transferring U.S. data to the Chinese. Here's a story most people don't know. Airbnb hands over U.S. user data to the CCP. Now, that's a U.S.-owned company. So this is the problem when you have Republicans that temporarily go the way the winds blow, and now it's popular to talk tough on China. When she was UN ambassador, called them literally, her words, not mine, our great friend. You can't be fair weather fans of the right policy. Get to the root cause. Even U.S. companies in Silicon Valley are regularly doing it. Cut the virtue signaling. The fact of the matter is Democrats are on TikTok today. The only person, one of the few people who is putting up content the way the actual algorithms work, speaking for pro-Israel views or others, is
Ambassador
me. And I predict
Haley,
more Republicans will join it. But stop U.S. companies from turning over data to Chinese companies. That's the real answer, not the virtue
Kristen,
signal.
don't get...
Look at DeSantis and Haley. DeSantis is just to say he's even looked good in any of these debates. I think you'd be fooling yourself. All right, let's go back. Let's do it. Let's go. 79.5K subs and less than 100 watching. Hit the like button. We got 200. We are losing subs. It's not 79. It's like 70, I think, 0.5 now. But we're going to be under that probably tonight because we lose 25 subscribers a day. Oh, excuse me, guys. Dr. Shiva has a victim complex. I don't watch enough to know that, so I don't know one way or the other. Sorry, guys. Choking up here. Let's see. Dr. Shiva was born in India. We apparently haven't determined the definition of a natural-born citizen. Not quite sure. How long can the predator ruling class push war on the people who will fight and suffer for it? There's 8 billion of us. There's a lot of people uninformed. Probably a decent amount of time, unfortunately. Ramaswamy is just another long live Israel and any American Express Republican. No thanks. Let's try peace. I'd like some peace too. All the Palestinians are going to Neom, the new AI city. They are not putting them in the Neom line. No. I mean, if that were real, that'd be scary. I'm gonna look up Palestine and Neom. If there's any truth to that, or he's being sarcastic, we will do it live.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Well, let's see. I mean, that's 2020 we're talking it. Here's the line. I'm not seeing anything. Although that's Neo Medical. I don't think that's they're bringing medical supplies. Jeez. What's this right here? Saudi plans to de-risk region. Okay. Have taken to hit with Gaza violence, but hitting pause on normalization with Israel will buy kingdom time. So let's see if we have anything here on Neom for real. Let's see. They're talking about the giga projects such as Neom, the futuristic new city of the Red Sea that has become synonymous with the 2030 vision. Yikes. Man. I'd have to read all this, and it doesn't necessarily... Where are the Palestinians in all this? Palestinians are in the bottom? No. Let's see. Public shows, Palestinian factions. Yeah, I don't know that they're related. We're going to get back to the chat. Y'all do realize Ramaswamy is plagiarizing Dr. Shiva, though. Is he? Do you really think he sits there and watches them? I don't know that. I'll never watch another debate when we haven't fixed voting. That's another big problem. You know, he opens up about how they're losing all these debates and he wants to be a winner. Well, we haven't fixed the infrastructure. I still find it hard to believe that we have free and fair elections, even before the 2020 fiasco. Just pointing that out there. Karen, did you look into the Israel Canal plan? What are your thoughts? And do you think Jason will cover it as a possibility for the false flag Hamas attack? I don't know anything about the Israel Canal plan. Someone would have to send me that. So, but first time I'm reading it. Don't know. Let's see. Predator class is not managerial. I think it was a keen way to put it out there. We haven't played that clip. We will play it. Let's see. World War. Yeah, we're also going to play this clip of myself and Drew Berquist talking about the possibilities of World War III and global conflict and the past. JC, that is exactly how every election has been. Tell you what you want to hear and then do none of it. Listen, say what you want about Trump. He wasn't perfect, but he did do some of it. Like when he said on day one, I'm going to deregulate and I'm going to let energy come in, he did. When he said on day one, I'm going to cut taxes, he did. That happened. So again, to me, there are differences. Don't trust the Swami. Jan, I trust no one. Just pointing out, he said some pretty good things. That's all. You know, in fact, let's bring up the closer, Ramaswamy, right now. This is his close.
We've talked a lot about foreign wars tonight, but we're in the middle of a war right here at home. It's a war not between black and white or Democrat and Republican. It's between those of us who believe in our founding ideals and love this country and a fringe minority who hates the United States of America. And I think it's going to take a commander-in-chief to lead us to victory in that war, who first of all knows that we're in a war. Second of all, can't be captured by the special interests along the way. But third is from the next generation, somebody with fresh legs to lead us to victory. I'll shut down the deep state. I'll declare economic independence from China. I'll keep us out of World War III and then revive national pride in this country. I also want to close with one message to the Democrat Party. End this farce that Joe Biden is going to be your nominee. We know he's not even the president of the United States. He's a puppet for the managerial class. So have the guts to step up and be honest about who you're actually going to put up so we can have an honest debate. Biden should step aside, end his candidacy now so we can see whether it's Newsom or Michelle Obama or whoever else.
Right,
just
Mr.
tell us the truth so we can have an honest debate.
I mean, like, that's what all right. I mean, that's what I talk about. We've been harping on Newsom. In fact, Newsom's about to hold something with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They've got him out there talking to Sean Hannity after the debates. Like I said, they don't want debates on that end. They already rigged the system so that RFK Jr. had no chance of getting it. So who are you running? I mean, if that's not... Is that democracy, what they're doing with the Democratic Party? And again, since we don't have free and fair elections, this is who they're planning on installing, right? This is who they're planning on installing. One way or the other. Trump is banging in the polls. I also talked with Drew about that. Like, we don't really see a path to how he not only gets the Republican nomination with everything that's going on, but ends up getting into office after he was in the position of strength as the president of the United States. Clearly, in a number of regards and respects, that election was stolen and he could do nothing about it. And not only was he not able to do anything about it, because he decided to run again, they're now prosecuting him and those around him. Extremely dangerous. Thumbs it up, subscribe, share. We're going to come back. We're going to do more of your questions and comments. We got a ton more clips of the debates and even of Rachel Maddow's response. I've also got some premium clips coming up of myself and Derek Bros. Those are going to be probably in the second hour. That lives over at rvmrumble.com, rvmrumble.com. Remember, we're doing it here at redvoicemedia.com almost 12 hours. Almost 12 hours. 9 a.m. runs, I think, till 8:30, okay? And then we have the replay after that. It's not easy. So if you want to support the broadcast, redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. If not, that's okay. You're still going to get the second hour free at rvmrumble.com. And then the third hour is Old Premium, which are great interviews and insights with a bunch of other people. We'll be back after this word from our sponsor.
We interrupt today's programming to bring unfortunate news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. So take action now. The Federal Reserve's phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard and put your hard-earned assets in jeopardy. But here's the good news. There's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Speak to someone at American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Dial 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Call 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. Act swiftly, 833-287-2465.
All right, final segment here in the first hour over at redvoicemedia.com. Again, second hour over at rvmrumble.com. Let's go back to your questions and comments here. Same talking points for 100 years. If I was running for anything, I would not debate. Humiliating stage. I don't know. I enjoy debate. I enjoy a little banter back and forth. Good for Ramaswamied. It makes total sense, Rose Hippie Guy. I'm not sure if he would on here. Ask him now. He may be taking questions. The Israel Canal thing, first time I've heard about it. Send me some information. I have no idea what we're talking about here. Again, I have talked about, and one of the only people that's talked about, the fact that you had U.S. Special Forces in Israel the day of the attacks conducting exercises, and now we have more boots on the ground there, and that's not even discussed. And that's another issue. Like, look, we know there's boots on the ground in Ukraine, but it's still not even really openly acknowledged. And they keep saying that's not real. Seems real to me. In fact, do we have that? I think we have that. We have We got the northern border clip. We've got, there was the Cheney and Heels. There's Ramaswamy War. Let's see what we got.
Swami, are you persuaded by President Zelensky's urgent new plea? Where do you stand on more funding?
I'm absolutely unpersuaded. And I'm actually enjoying watching the Ukraine hawks quietly, delicately tiptoe back from their position as this thing has unwound into a disaster. The first half of this race, I was the only person standing for it. Now they're actually quietly coming around to being more cautious, as they should. Level with the American people here.
Look at Haley's face there. Seriously, we're gonna get it back. Look at Nikki Haley's face.
Coming around to being more cautious, as they should.
Look at her face, man. Like, that's like, and even DeSantis. I wish I had the higher res. I mean, these people, they're ghouls.
Should. Level with the American people here. Ukraine is not a paragon of democracy. This is a country that has banned 11 opposition parties. It has consolidated all media into one state TV media arm. That's not democratic. It has threatened not to hold elections this year unless the U.S. forks over more money. That is not democratic. It has celebrated a Nazi in its ranks, the comedian in cargo pants, a man called Zelensky, doing it in their own ranks. That is not democratic. More facts for you that you won't hear from the mainstream in either party or the mainstream media. The regions of Ukraine that are occupied by Russia right now, in the Donbass, Luhansk, Donetsk. These are Russian-speaking regions that have not even been part of Ukraine since 2014, that other people probably couldn't name those provinces for you. Those are the hard facts. And so to frame this as some kind of battle between good versus evil, don't buy it. And I'd like the likes of the sharpest of the war hawks on Ukraine, Nikki Haley, to have some accountability and answer. Do you want to use U.S. taxpayer money to fund the banning of Christians? That is actually what's happening. They're using the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. They have banned them. The Ukrainian parliament just did this last week, supported by our dollars. And I think you owe it to the American people, Nikki, to at least this one time
Ramaswamy,
at least condemn.
thank you. That's time.
At least to
Mr.
condemn.
Ramaswamy.
Mr. Ramaswamy, that's enough. Come on, man. See, like that, I don't know if I could have belted that out as well as he did. That was big.
Their banning of Christians.
Mr. Ramaswamy, thank you. Mr. Ramaswamy, thank you. We asked the questions.
We asked the questions, not you, Ramaswamy. We asked the questions. We're in control.
Ambassador Haley,
Well, she deserves to
what
answer.
is your take on more funding for Ukraine?
I'll just give them everything they want. We got to get this evil dictator, Putin. I mean, again, everybody else up there was a bad joke, and Ramaswamy was slaying. Just saying. He has changed his whole spiel since he hit the scene. So, of course, he is an actor like most all politicians. Again, everybody's allowed to have their opinions here. I trust Vivek more than I trust the MSM garbage on the Tell a Lie vision. Correct. Scripted theater. Mo Lester Holt. We need to remember his full name. Is there allegations against Lester Holt? Let's see if that's just a joke. Or, you never know, right?
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Lester Holt. Oh my. Thank you. I did kind of remember that. Let's see. Lester Holt questioned. Let's see. Holt abandoned his speech. What's the embarrassment? Is that it? Come on. What is this? What's the first thing here? Oh, maybe not. Accusations of sexual harassment. Maybe not. Maybe Lester Holt is just clean. This is Harvey Weinstein stuff. 2017. I mean, who knows? Maybe allegations against Lester Holt. Let's try DuckDuckGo. If there's any difference. I got to start going to Yandex. I've been told that's good. Let's see. No, nothing. Nope. Just don't see anything. Lester Holt's a great guy. All right, let's go back through it. Let's see. Questions and comments. Maybe anti-Israeli government, LOL. I see a rise in the exposure of abusing that term. Oh, we're talking about the anti-Semitism term I was talking about out there. What's the nuance in genocide? I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what the nuance is, Carlos, if you'd like to know. Israel's not going anywhere, right? Like Israel isn't going anywhere. So that's the nuance. All right. I didn't have anything to do with putting it in place there. I'm not approving of the policies, but the state's going to exist. And it is an ally of the United States. And it is part of Five Eyes. Now, it might not be, allied with the right parts of the United States, but it's there. So again, it's not going anywhere. So therein lies the nuance. Like, we're not leaving the Middle East. We're not leaving Iraq. We left Afghanistan, but they're, again, PMG groups, all that stuff. That's the nuance, Carlos. Again, I'm never going to be for open air prisons. I'm never going to be for shutting the power off on 2 million people. I'm never going to be for indiscriminate carpet bombing of civilians. Obviously. But the nuance is, I don't know how to stop it. Okay? That's the nuance. Let's see. The whole world is a construct. Correct. Let's see. Hey, at least the kids are going outside again. Sending you healing vibes, Karen. Karen, yeah, I hope you do feel better. She's always a great moderator here. I hate it when I don't feel good. I hate it when I don't have that energy, that pop. I always think that's important. Thanks for all the hard work and persistence, Jason. No, thank you guys for watching. Again, I wouldn't have this morning gig. I wouldn't be able to say what I feel and put this information out there if it weren't for you guys and it weren't for outlets such as Red Voice Media, right? Thank God. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, let's keep going. They're framing all the Palestinians as Hamas. That's ridiculous. I know. How Israel treats them like the Nazis treated the Jews is beyond hypocritical. I mean, once again, if you don't have free movement, which they don't, if you don't have a way to get out, which they don't, and then you don't have any real civil rights, which they don't, yeah. But at the same time, look at what they do to their own citizens in Israel. Netanyahu, with his medical database and his soon-to-be genetic database that he bragged about that he can't wait to have, they had some of the most authoritarian measures via the biggity-bobbity-boobity-bibs and the certificates, right? So I mean, how much of that is the people that live there, and how much of that is the ruling class there? But again, like people need to realize, like, they're not all Hamas. Most people just want to live their lives, okay? And I'm sorry, this idea that, Israel returned to its land just because something's biblical. I mean, we're talking about centuries. Like, framing it that way, that doesn't sell me on it. But framing it in the way that everybody's just going to leave and that it's not like a superpower in the Middle East, that's not reality either. Just saying. Rogan or the Tuck would be fun. I agree with them as the people asking debate questions, 100%. And Ramaswamy knows that. It's funny. It's good stuff. Like it. Let's see. Ramaswamy is fronting for Musk. My feeling about Musk is like Jason's. Thank you. Well, I mean, not thank you, but like for me, that's where it's obvious. The researcher. We use a lot of his videos and his research. I think it's listen_to the number learn over at Twitter. He posted something that was critical of the Musker nuts, old Muskins. And I was like, hey, man, I know you like Whitney Webb. You post her stuff. Here is Elon Musk explained. And it was the panel show with myself, James Corbett, Whitney Webb, etc. Just throwing it down on Musk because he might not watch something like mine, but he said thank you. Look, Musk is fronting. He's fronting big. That there's no doubt in my mind on that one. Let's see. Whoever is going to be blamed for Gaza war will have many enemies on this planet forever. That's next. The technology giants running for office saying voting for me is taking my chip. Oh, yikes. Let's see. Thank you, Jen. They're definitely a mood booster. I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Let's see. Oh, Memory Hole does not like the fake Ramaswampi. Does not like the Ramaswamp. Pied Piper, WNBC crap. So anti-government, he wants to be the president. I mean, I'm glad somebody wants to be the president that's willing to say those things on stage. Like, without him, who's saying it? Vivek dominated last night. Like him or not, he won. He killed again. He's murdering these people. Everybody knows it. Yada, yada, yada. Talking point. Yada, yada. Ad nauseum. Well, I'm happy you're here, Karen. Let's see. Of course, Vivek won last night. Let's see. One, common. Tyler uses your brain. It's all staged. Well, again, I think there's something there. I don't know about I don't think he's coming to save the day. I don't think he's Superman. But I just don't believe everything is staged. He's like that dude that made the song Rich Men North of Richmond. He can't do shit to help the country. No politician can only fix is American people clean house by force. Yeah, but if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay when your banks of fund round. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep on pushing them down, Johnny. Lord, it's a damn shame. I'm not going to do it, because that's just, no, we're not going to do it. All right, we got to take one more break. We're going to come back to YouTube just really quickly. I'm going to tell you where you can find the second hour. We're going to be playing that clip with myself and Drew Berquist talking World War III and the historical nature, some stuff with my main man over there, Derek Bro, somebody who was trying to run in this last election for the mayor of Houston, and somebody who is boots on the ground in this fight and is solutions-based. So somebody we respect very much here. But here is a word from our sponsor, and we'll be back briefly after this.
If you're like me and you want to be prepared for the unexpected,
that's where the Wellness Company's emergency medical kit comes
over
in.
40% of Americans say that they would avoid a doctor or a hospital unless it was a catastrophic situation.
Medical emergency kits with...
The kit contains 8 potentially life-saving medications for you to keep on hand in the event of natural disasters, supply chain shortages, medical emergencies, or like an apocalyptic situation. These are the actual medications that you would need in the event of certain situations. So they've got emergency antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics.
All right, folks, you know the drill. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. The week has come to a close yet again. We do it Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to flip the switch over to the uncensored second hour, RVMRumble.com. Make sure to give them a follow and check out some of the other great shows. You're also going to find a third hour over there if you do make the switch. So FaceTube, TubeFace,